Welcome to Paranormal Files. I'm your host, Paige Carter. In the dusky twilight of a desolate Nevada desert, a lone figure stumbled upon a sight that would change his life forever. An unmarked black vehicle, sleek and ominously silent, rested on the side of the empty road. As he approached, a chill ran down his spine, a primal warning that something was profoundly wrong. He hesitated, the air seeming to grow colder, his heart pounding in his ears. Yet curiosity, as it often does, overpowered fear, and he moved closer. The vehicle's windows were tinted, obscuring the view inside, but as he drew near, the rear door swung open. From the blackness within, two figures emerged, dressed in matching black suits. Their faces were unreadable, devoid of any discernible emotion. Their eyes, hidden behind dark glasses, were impassive and cold. They spoke in hushed tones, their words difficult to decipher. The man strained to hear, his curiosity now tinged with an undercurrent of terror. He was not supposed to be here, of that he was sure. He had stumbled upon something he was not meant to witness. Without warning, the two figures turned their gazes to him. Their eyes, even behind the glasses, seemed to bore into him, a silent message to forget what he had seen. He turned and ran, the desert swallowing his panicked footsteps. The encounter was over in minutes, but it would haunt him for the remainder of his days. He had crossed paths with the men in black. Such encounters form the backbone of a phenomenon that has pervaded popular culture and fed conspiracy theories for decades. These men in black, alleged secret government agents, or perhaps something even more sinister, are said to appear following UFO sightings or encounters with the unexplained. Their purpose, it would seem, is to silence those who have seen too much, to keep hidden the secrets that our world may not be ready to confront. The accounts are chilling, filled with a sense of dread and an overwhelming feeling of being watched. Witnesses often report feelings of unease and fear, an instinctive understanding that these men in black are not of our world, or at least not of our understanding of it. Their appearance is always the same: dark suits, dark glasses, and an aura of menace that is impossible to ignore. Yet, despite the fear they instill, these encounters also inspire a sense of awe and wonder. What secrets do these men in black carry? What hidden truths are they sworn to protect? Are they guardians of our reality or harbingers of a world beyond our comprehension? These questions and the mystery surrounding the men in black continue to captivate us, drawing us deeper into the enigma of the unknown. The origins of the men in black phenomenon can be traced back to the 1940s and 1950s, a period in history when sightings of unidentified flying objects began to proliferate. However, it was not until the 1960s that the first detailed accounts of encounters with these enigmatic figures started to emerge. The catalyst for these accounts was a man named Albert K. Bender, a dedicated ufologist and the founder of the International Flying Saucer Bureau. Bender was a well-known figure in the burgeoning field of UFO studies. In 1953, he made an astonishing claim. He had discovered the truth behind the UFO phenomenon, a truth so shocking that it had the potential to upend our understanding of reality. Bender promised to reveal his findings in the next issue of his publication, The Space Review. But the issue never came. Instead, Bender abruptly shut down the International Flying Saucer Bureau and ceased all his UFO-related activities. His explanation was as baffling as it was terrifying. He claimed that he had been visited by 3 men in dark suits who had warned him to stop his research. Bender described these men as having an aura of fear about them. They knew things about him, intimate details that a stranger should not know. Most chillingly, they were aware of his research, of the truths he was on the brink of revealing. Their message was clear: silence or suffer the consequences. This encounter with the men in black left an indelible mark on Bender. He was so shaken that he abandoned his UFO research entirely, choosing silence over the potential peril of defying these ominous figures. Bender's story sent ripples through the UFO community, sparking fear and intrigue in equal measure. It was the first reported encounter with the men in black, but it would not be the last. As the years passed, more stories began to surface. Witnesses described encounters with men in dark suits who appeared after UFO sightings, their purpose always the same: to silence and intimidate. These accounts shared an uncanny similarity, painting a picture of a clandestine organization operating in the shadows, its members dedicated to suppressing the truth about our world and what lies beyond it. These early encounters form the foundation of the Men in Black legend, a narrative that continues to evolve and inspire fear and fascination in equal measure. As we delve deeper into these accounts, we find ourselves faced with a chilling question. What is it about our reality that these men in black are so intent on hiding? The answer, it seems, is shrouded in the same mystery that surrounds these ominous figures themselves. Albert Bender's chilling encounter was not an isolated incident. Over the years, numerous witnesses have come forward with their own eerie experiences with the men in black. The details vary, but a common thread runs through these accounts: a chilling encounter with enigmatic figures intent on silencing those who dare to investigate the unknown. Take the case of Paul Miller, a military serviceman who reported a UFO sighting in 1961. He returned home from his encounter to find two men in dark suits awaiting him. These men, who Miller had never met before, seemed to know everything about his close encounter, even details he had not disclosed. They warned him against sharing his experience, instilling such fear that Miller remained quiet for decades. Then there's the account of Dr. Herbert Hopkins, a respected family physician from Maine who was researching a UFO case in 1976. A man, clad in a black suit, arrived at his doorstep late one night. This man, void of any hair and with a deathly pale complexion, would proceed to erase a coin right before Hopkins's eyes as a demonstration of his power. The encounter ended with a chilling warning. Hopkins was told to erase all his UFO research. Terrified, he complied. Private individuals are not the only ones who have reported these encounters. Renowned UFO researcher John Keel, author of The Mothman Prophecies, was repeatedly visited by men in dark suits during his investigations. Keel noted that these enigmatic figures seemed to display strange behaviors and had an uncanny knowledge of his activities. Drawing upon these experiences, Keel posited that the men in black were not government agents, but something far more arcane. These accounts, among countless others, form a complex tapestry of encounters with the men in black. They paint a picture of an organization that operates on the periphery of our reality, its members intent on silencing those who dare to explore the mysteries of our world. The question remains: who are these men? Are they government agents, as some suggest? Or could they be something more otherworldly? Despite countless encounters, evidence remains elusive. Descriptions of the men in black are often contradictory, with some witnesses describing them as perfectly normal humans, while others note distinctly non-human characteristics. Their origins, their purpose, their very nature remain shrouded in mystery, a mystery that, with each new encounter, seems to deepen rather than resolve. Whatever they are, one thing is clear: the men in black are intent on silencing those who come too close to the truth, whatever that truth may be. As we delve deeper into the enigma that is the men in black, it's impossible to ignore the strange, often inexplicable phenomena that accompany their appearances. These aren't just ordinary meetings shrouded in secrecy. They are events steeped in the paranormal, surreally bridging the gap between the known and the unknown. Take, for instance, the experience of Paul Miller, an Air Force veteran. After his encounter with the men in black, Miller reported an inexplicable loss of time, a common theme among those who have had similar experiences. This wasn't a mere lapse in memory or an episode of disorientation. Miller had lost an entire 2 hours from his life, a span of time that had seemingly vanished into thin air. Could this be an act of hypnosis? Or perhaps something far more baffling? In another instance, A UFO enthusiast named Albert Bender claimed that he was visited by 3 men dressed entirely in black. Following the encounter, Bender experienced severe headaches and a peculiar metallic taste in his mouth. His health deteriorated rapidly, and he was left emotionally and physically drained. These symptoms are alarmingly reminiscent of radiation sickness, a condition linked to exposure to high levels of radiation. Then there are the numerous accounts of electronic disturbances. Phones ringing with no one on the other end, TVs and radios mysteriously malfunctioning, lights flickering without reason, all seemingly minor anomalies, but occurring with unsettling frequency around the men in black. But perhaps the most eerie of all are accounts of telepathic communication. Dr. Herbert Hopkins, in his confrontation with a man in black, was given a warning. But the message was not uttered aloud. It was transmitted directly into his mind. This uncanny ability to communicate silently, to project thoughts and threats, is a recurring theme in many encounters. These strange phenomena create an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty around the men in black, adding another layer to their already enigmatic existence. They defy logical explanation, blurring the lines between the natural and the supernatural, the real and the surreal. Each encounter, each manifestation, only deepens the mystery, reinforcing the impression of a force operating at the fringes of our understanding, always lurking in the shadows. The men in black, it seems, are not just silencers of truth, but also harbingers of the inexplicable. In an attempt to peel back the layers of mystery surrounding the men in black, various experts, skeptics, and scientific teams have embarked on their own investigations. Some have proposed rational explanations grounded in psychological phenomena, while others have ventured into the realm of physics and technology. However, the elusive nature of the men in black has left many of these theories wanting. Psychologists have suggested that the encounters with the men in black could be a manifestation of paranoia or delusion, especially given that many of these encounters are reported by individuals already immersed in UFO and extraterrestrial research. The fear and anticipation of being silenced or threatened could potentially give rise to hallucinations or distorted perceptions. But this theory struggles to account for the physical symptoms experienced by individuals like Albert Bender. Psychological delusion cannot induce symptoms of radiation sickness or cause the inexplicable loss of time reported by Officer Miller. Turning to the field of physics, some have proposed that the men in black could be a manifestation of a poorly understood phenomenon known as quantum entanglement, where two particles become inextricably linked and can affect each other's state instantaneously, no matter the distance separating them. This could theoretically explain the telepathic communication reported in encounters with the men in black. However, the science of quantum entanglement is still in its infancy, and the translation of this phenomenon to human consciousness remains speculative at best. The electronic disturbances associated with the men in black have led some to explore the possibility of advanced technology at play. Could the men in black be capable of manipulating electrical systems or employing devices that interfere with our electronics? While this would account for the anomalous phone calls and flickering lights, it fails to explain the more paranormal aspects of the men in black encounters, such as telepathy or the unsettling physical symptoms. The variety of phenomena associated with the men in black seems to defy any single rational explanation. Each theory unravels a little more of the mystery, but the full picture remains elusive. The men in black appear to operate beyond our current understanding, straddling the line between the natural and the supernatural. Their existence challenges the boundaries of our knowledge, pushing us into the realm of the unknown. Their presence remains a riddle, an enigma that continues to confound and captivate. Human perception is a curious instrument, often a mirror reflecting our deepest fears, desires, and cultural narratives. The accounts of the men in black, though varied and complex, are no exception to this. They echo age-old tales of shadowy figures who emerge from the darkness to silence those who dare to speak the truth. In many ways, they embody the universal fear of the unknown, the unseen, and the unexplained. The cultural implications of these encounters are significant. Like folklore from time immemorial, the phenomenon of the men in black taps into a primal fear of the outsider. They are often depicted as unfamiliar, strange, and foreign, characteristics that have been used throughout history to induce fear and maintain social order. This taps into a societal fear of infiltration by unknown forces, whether they be political, extraterrestrial, or supernatural. Psychologically, these encounters may be interpreted as a manifestation of fear and anxiety around the pursuit of forbidden knowledge. The men in black appear to individuals who have delved into the mysteries of the universe, challenging accepted knowledge and societal norms. The fear of retribution for such transgressions is a deeply ingrained human condition, echoing the archetypal narrative of punishment for those who dare to reach beyond their mortal understanding. Anthropologically, the men in black phenomenon presents a fascinating case study in the diffusion of cultural narratives. The stories have spread across continents and decades, morphing to fit different cultural contexts while maintaining their core elements. This pattern is reminiscent of the spread of myths and legends in ancient times, suggesting that these stories fulfill a deep-seated human need to explain and personify the unknown. In the same vein, the men in black serve as a modern manifestation of a timeless archetype, the ominous figure who brings a warning or a curse. From the Greek god Hermes, who carried messages from the gods, to the Grim Reaper, who signals impending death, human culture is replete with figures who herald significant, often unsettling change. The men in black, with their mysterious messages and chilling threats, fit neatly into this universal archetype. In all these interpretations, it is clear that the phenomenon of the men in black is deeply intertwined with our human psychology and cultural narratives. Yet, despite these explanations, the mystery remains. The accounts are too consistent, the experiences too tangible, the fear too real. Whatever the men in black may represent, their presence continues to be felt, their shadows continuing to loom large over our understanding of the universe. The silence they seem to impose is not just on those who encounter them, but on the collective human consciousness, forcing us to confront the boundaries of our comprehension and the vast expanse of the unknown. But there are those who look beyond the confines of earthly reasoning, who dare to explore the mystical and the metaphysical. They propose an explanation that transcends the prosaic and ventures into the realm of the otherworldly. From this perspective, the men in black are not simply constructs of our collective psyche, but interdimensional beings or emissaries from a consciousness beyond our grasp. In the vast array of spiritual traditions, there are numerous accounts of beings who traverse worlds, serving as messengers or guardians. The men in black could be perceived as akin to these entities. Their stern warnings to silence could be interpreted as attempts to protect us from knowledge that we, as a species, are not yet ready to comprehend. A cosmic quarantine of sorts. There are also theories that link the men in black to the concept of energy imprints, a notion prevalent in many paranormal and metaphysical beliefs. These imprints are essentially energetic residues left in the fabric of reality by powerful events or entities. The men in black, in this interpretation, could be the manifestations of such energy imprints resulting from human encounters with the extraterrestrial or the profoundly unexplained. Others still draw parallels between the men in black and shadow people, dark, enigmatic figures that have haunted human perception since time immemorial. Shadow people, like the men in black, are often associated with feelings of dread and an ominous sense of impending doom. Could it be that these two phenomena are different manifestations of the same otherworldly presence? There is also the possibility of the men in black being a form of tulpa, a thought form or collective belief that has taken physical form. In the world of esoteric studies, a tulpa is an entity created by the power of human belief and intense concentration. The widespread and enduring belief in the men in black could potentially have given form to these enigmatic beings, thus making them a reality. These spiritual and metaphysical interpretations of the men in black phenomenon add yet another layer to the mystery. They do not necessarily replace or negate the psychological and cultural perspectives, but rather, they expand the conversation, inviting us to consider the possibility of a reality that is not only stranger than we imagine, but stranger than we can imagine. Indeed, it seems that the men in black, whatever their true nature, serve as a mirror to our collective consciousness, reflecting our deepest fears and our greatest curiosities. They stand at the boundaries of the known and the unknown, the mundane and the mystical, challenging us to question, to seek, and to wonder. In the 21st century, the men in black have not faded into obscurity. Instead, they have adapted to the digital age, appearing in online forums and video-sharing platforms. Paranormal investigators and enthusiasts continue to report encounters with these eerie figures, their stories echoing the chilling accounts from decades past. One might think that the advent of ubiquitous technology would make it easier to capture evidence of the men in black. However, the opposite seems to be true. Their elusive nature persists, defying attempts at solid proof. Footage often turns out grainy or blurred, devices malfunction at crucial moments, and witnesses report a strange fog of forgetfulness that descends after encounters, leaving them with only fragmented memories. Technological advancements, however, have also opened new avenues for investigations. For instance, advancements in audio and video analysis technologies have allowed researchers to scrutinize the few pieces of alleged evidence with greater precision. Some have even tried to use machine learning algorithms to detect patterns and anomalies in the accounts and evidence of men in black encounters. Online platforms have also played a crucial role in the modern narrative of the men in black. Forums and social media groups dedicated to the topic have grown exponentially, offering a platform for people around the world to share their experiences and theories. In these virtual spaces, the men in black are not only a shared experience, but also a shared fascination and fear, a collective mystery that binds together a diverse global community. In contrast to the past, when reports were often isolated incidents, the Internet has allowed a more coherent picture to emerge. Recurring themes and details have surfaced, painting a chillingly consistent portrait of the men in black. Their dark suits, their pale skin, their unnerving demeanor, and their inexplicable knowledge of personal details are all frequently reported. More disturbing are the accounts of those who claim to have been silenced by the men in black. These individuals often report a sudden cessation of paranormal experiences after their encounter, as if some invisible switch has been flicked. This has led some to speculate that the men in black are not merely observers, but also manipulators of our reality. Despite the efforts of both professional researchers and amateur sleuths, the men in black remain shrouded in mystery. Their presence in the digital age, marked by blurry videos, eerie testimonies, and online discussions, serves as a testament to their enduring enigma. The more we delve into their narrative, the more questions arise, deepening the mystery that surrounds these ominous figures. As the narrative of the men in black unfolds, it is impossible to ignore the more controversial theories that have surfaced over the years. The complex web of ideas that surround these figures is as fascinating as it is unsettling, plunging us into a world where the improbable seems all too possible. These theories, while extraordinary and contentious, provide insight into the vast landscape of human imagination and our struggle to make sense of the inexplicable. One such concept revolves around government experiments. Some believe that the men in black are operatives from covert government programs, tasked with suppressing knowledge of classified experiments. These might include operations on mind control, time manipulation, and advanced technology reverse-engineered from alien artifacts. The men in black, in this context, are seen as the guardians of secrets too powerful and terrifying for the public to know. Another extraordinary theory suggests that the men in black are not bound by the linear progression of time as we understand it. Proponents of this idea point to accounts where these figures demonstrated knowledge of events before they happened, or showed an uncanny ability to appear and disappear at will. This has given rise to speculation about time slips and the possibility that these enigmatic beings have access to some form of time travel or exist outside of our conventional understanding of time. A third theory ventures further into the realm of the paranormal, proposing that the men in black are not human at all, but rather entities from other dimensions or realities. This theory often ties into ideas about portals or wormholes, suggesting that the men in black can move through these interdimensional gateways to visit our world. Their strange demeanor and seemingly superhuman abilities lend some credibility to this idea, as does their reported interest in those who have experienced paranormal phenomena. Perhaps the most controversial theory yet is the suggestion that the men in black are manifestations of a non-human intelligence. This could range from extraterrestrial beings to artificial intelligence of an advanced nature, or even sentient forms of energy. Advocates of this theory often cite the men in black's apparent lack of understanding of basic human behaviors and their odd, mechanical mannerisms. These theories, while certainly outside the realm of conventional understanding, embody our instinctive desire to explain the unexplainable. They reflect our collective fascination with the unknown and our insatiable curiosity about the world beyond our immediate perception. Whether or not any of these theories hold the key to the true nature of the men in black remains to be seen. But one thing is certain. The enigma of these ominous figures continues to captivate us, drawing us deeper into the heart of their enduring mystery. In the shadows of conjecture and speculation, the men in black persist as enigmatic figures, their identities and motivations shrouded in mystery. Regardless of the theories surrounding their existence, the sense of unease they instill remains palpable. Their presence is linked to the unsettling, the unexplainable, a stark reminder of our limited understanding of the world and the universe that surrounds us. The experiences of those who have encountered the men in black are marked by an otherworldly fear, a chilling chill that leaves an indelible imprint. The consistency of these feelings across countless encounters reveals a disturbing pattern that cannot be easily dismissed. Despite the myriad theories, the men in black remain an enigma. Are they agents of a secret government organization? Are they beings from another time, another dimension, or another reality? Are they non-human entities with an interest in our world? Or are they something else entirely, something beyond our current capacity to comprehend? The lack of definitive answers raises more questions. What is their objective? Why do they appear to those who have experienced the paranormal? What is the message they are trying to convey, or the truth they are trying to suppress? If they are indeed real, why have they managed to evade conclusive detection for so long? The men in black serve as a stark reminder that no matter how far we advance, how much we learn, there will always be mysteries that remain just beyond the edge of our understanding. They are a symbol of the unexplained, a representation of the fear and awe that come when faced with the unknown. As we delve deeper into the mystery of the men in black, we are left with more questions than answers. This is the nature of the unknown. It intrigues, it terrifies, it captivates. The men in black, whether real or imagined, encapsulate this paradox of fear and fascination. Could such encounters happen again? The unsettling answer is that we simply do not know. The men in black remain an unexplained phenomenon, their existence neither confirmed nor denied. What is certain, however, is that the stories surrounding them will continue to captivate us, reminding us that the world is full of mysteries and the unknown is always closer than we think. In this vast universe, there are things that we are yet to understand, and perhaps some things that we are not meant to understand. The men in black, shrouded in mystery and intrigue, serve as a constant reminder of this universal truth. They represent the unknown, the unexplained, the uncanny, a chilling testament to the enigmatic world that lies beyond our comprehension. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of Paranormal Files. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, gain access to bonus content, and unlock our full library of podcasts, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.